Fade in, thunder rolling in the distance. A lone crib rocking gently in a dimly lit nursery. The window is open, curtains blowing in the cold wind. A ransom note lies on the sill. March 1st, 1932. A night that turned America's golden family into victims of its darkest crime. A baby stolen, a nation terrified, and a mystery that still haunts history. This is the Lindbergh baby kidnapping. Hopewell, New Jersey. The Lindbergh family estate sat in quiet countryside, surrounded by tall trees and winding dirt roads. Charles Lindbergh, celebrated worldwide for his daring solo flight across the Atlantic in 1927, was the face of American bravery and innovation. His wife, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, was admired as an elegant writer and devoted mother. To the public, they were America's royal couple. Their baby boy, Charles Augustus Lindbergh Jr., symbolized hope for the nation during the hardships of the Great Depression. But in a single night, that symbol of hope became the center of America's greatest nightmare. At around 9 p.m., the baby's nurse, Betty Gow, entered the nursery. She froze. The crib was empty. A chilling silence filled the room. The window stood open, the curtains flapping in the icy March wind. On the floor, muddy footprints told a story of intrusion. A handwritten ransom note sat waiting on the windowsill. It demanded $50,000 for the baby's safe return. Written in broken English with strange symbols, it hinted at a foreign kidnapper. Anne Lindbergh collapsed in shock. Charles Lindbergh raced through the house, flashlight in hand, searching desperately. But the baby was gone. The news exploded across America. Newspapers ran bold headlines. Radio broadcasts interrupted programs. Thousands gathered outside the Lindbergh estate. Police swarmed the property, reporters jostled for position, and strangers volunteered to search the woods. Charles Lindbergh, once the confident hero who conquered the Atlantic, now appeared broken, pleading into microphones for the safe return of his son. Politicians called it a national emergency. The governor of New Jersey personally took charge. For a nation gripped by the Depression, the kidnapping was both tragedy and spectacle. Over the following weeks, a series of ransom notes arrived, each one more taunting. The kidnappers insisted on secrecy. They threatened the boy's life if police interference continued. Into this chaos stepped Dr. John Condon, a retired Bronx school principal who offered to act as an intermediary. Astonishingly, the Lindberghs agreed. Newspapers became a tool of communication, printing coded messages to reach the kidnappers. Finally, a meeting was arranged. On a frigid Bronx night, Dr. Condon met a shadowy man in a cemetery. The deal was tense, whispered in the dark among gravestones. $50,000 in marked bills was handed over. In return, the man promised the baby would be returned. But days passed. Weeks. Months. The Lindberghs waited in vain. Their son never came home. The grim discovery, 9x10:30. 72 days later, a truck driver cutting through the woods near the Lindbergh estate stumbled upon a horrific sight. The tiny body of Charles Jr. lay in a shallow grave. Investigators concluded the child had been killed the very night of the kidnapping. The ransom had been a cruel deception. The nation grieved, but for the Lindberghs, the pain was immeasurable. The FBI and New Jersey police turned their full power on the case. Their main lead, the ransom bills. Each bill carried unique serial numbers. For over 2 years, agents tracked them as they surfaced in shops, gas stations, and banks across New York. In September 1934, a major break came. A gas station attendant accepted a $10 gold certificate but grew suspicious. He wrote down the car's license plate. The car led police to Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a German immigrant carpenter. Police searched Hauptmann's garage. Hidden in the walls, they discovered $14,000 of the ransom money. A handwriting expert declared his script matched the ransom notes. Even more damning, the wooden ladder used to climb into the nursery matched wood taken from Hauptmann A.S. attic. The evidence seemed overwhelming. In January 1935, the trial of Bruno Hauptmann began in Flemington, New Jersey. It was a media circus unlike anything before. Reporters filled the courthouse, spectators lined up overnight, and photos of Hauptmann dominated front pages. The prosecution presented their case: the ransom money, the ladder, the handwriting. Witnesses placed Hauptmann near key locations. The defense insisted he was innocent, claiming a former business partner had left the money with him. But the jury was unconvinced. After just 11 hours of deliberation, they returned a guilty verdict. On April 3, 1936, Bruno Richard Hauptmann was executed in the electric chair. But even in death, doubts remained. Did Hauptmann truly act alone? Or was he a scapegoat for a larger conspiracy? Critics argued the evidence was circumstantial, the witnesses unreliable, and the investigation clouded by public pressure. Conspiracy theories spread, some suggesting organized gangs, others claiming inside involvement. The Lindbergh kidnapping left a permanent scar. It led to the Federal Kidnapping Act of 1932, or the Lindbergh Law, making kidnapping across state lines a federal crime. It expanded the FBI's powers, changing the landscape of American law enforcement. For Charles and Anne Lindbergh, the tragedy never lifted. Hounded by media, they eventually left America for Europe, hoping to find peace. Nearly a century later, the Lindbergh baby kidnapping remains one of America's darkest true crime stories. A baby stolen, a family shattered, and a nation forever changed. The baby who never came home, and the case that still haunts America.